Providence. Bears wearing the brown jerseys, white numerals this evening. And Dartmouth with the white with green numbers. That was close to your hands.
I was ready. I had the
hands.
I was ready.
Mike Rubin.
Left my goalie gloves at home wrong season, but I was ready to go.
So here we go. Bears right away. Bread and butter play. Justine Gaziano with the first bucket of the night.
I like that movement off the ball. Gaziano on the baseline. Kind of looked like the Princeton offense, the way they moved the basketball.
So a sharp movement by the Bears early on. How will Dartmouth respond? They go to the paint inside. And flashing in the paint was Anna Luce. Was able to draw some contacts and will be heading to the line shooting two.
Yeah, Dartmouth, did a good job of getting the ball inside. Loose, good rotation, get around Dale, and Gaziano picking up the foul. Dartmouth not a great free throw shooting team, just at about 62% coming in.
Of course, Luce makes the first one.
Naturally.
On the season, she's at 65%. Cans them both, and we're all knotted up at two early on here at the Pitt-Tola Center. And Dominique Leonidas now will lead the charge back the other way. Mullen cuts towards her. Around it goes now for Gaziano. Mullen sets up on the perimeter, launches it, and will not get the friendly rim tonight. And it's Luce with the rebound. Dartmouth now in transition. I'll work it over for Douglas. Luce once again, and here's McKenna trying to get around Leonidas. Luce checking over her options, flips it to Douglas. Oh, nice pass on the inside for Paula Lenart, who converts.
Yeah, they were winding down on the shot clock as well as Dartmouth, so that was a pretty efficient possession when you think about getting that basket on the only opportunity they had.
Here's Mullen again, watched by Douglas. Green trying to help out with the screen out high, wound up getting the ball. Now Leonidas directs traffic. And again, the Bears down to 10 on the shot clock, and Leonidas able to draw some contact. I believe they're going to get Lenart for her first of the night.
Yeah, Lenart came out on the double team and, was a little too aggressive. I think part of it was Leonidas' speed as she kind of turned to her right. Ended up absorbing the contact.
So non-shooting, so the Bears will take over with 20 seconds on the shot clock as they work it around now for Gaziano. Bears turn it over there. They got a little shuffle of the feet on Justine Gaziano.
It didn't look like much. At least from where we're sitting.
No. We were both a little bit surprised on that one. And now Dartmouth will go back to work. El Louis as they rotate it for Douglas. She's picked up by Mullen this time. Douglas to the rack. Can't get it to go. Mullen with the rebound. In a little bit of trouble, though, but was able to get it out to Leonidas. Quickly ahead. Gaziano for three. Too strong. And the Bears, a fortuitous bounce off a Dartmouth player. Dale can't hit the jumper. And here comes McKenna and the big green. Loose for three. Left it short. Another three opportunity for Douglas, and she cans it.
Well, Douglas found herself in a good spot. I mean, it was kind of a quick take on the three, the initial three ball. Came back out. Douglas had lots of time. Looked good all the way up, and Dartmouth has a 5-point lead on a 7-0 run.
Yeah, I think most important for Douglas that time, no hesitation on that shot. Here's Gaziano from the outside. Again, left it a little bit short. Louis now the other way for McKenna. And Douglas. They try to get everybody a touch here, do the big green. Louis trying to penetrate. Loose inside the paint. It's been in there a while. Here's Douglas now trying to get inside. Leaves it back for Lenart. And she cans the jumper. 9-0 run here for the big green.
Yeah, the Bears need to stop the bleeding. They've missed the last 5 shots. Dartmouth, it hasn't been Dartmouth's defense really that's done anything. It's just the Bears missing shots.
Talked about Dartmouth dead last in the Ivy League in shooting percentage at 37% on the season, but at a 60% rate right now. Here's McKenna Dale for three. That one won't drop, and the Bears now 0 for 4 from the perimeter. Oftentimes we see the Bears live and die by the three. McKenna, the wide open jumper won't fall for her. After the rebound from Green, the Bears push it ahead for Gaziano, trying to weave through a couple of big Green defenders. Here's Mullen for three. Got it.
Boy, the Bears needed that basket in a big way, not just because it was a three-pointer, but because they'd missed, I think, 7 shots in a row. Maybe, 7 shots in a row.
And the Bears now just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. But again, just a 4-point game here. About 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. Louis with Luce checking towards her. A little turnaround jumper, and what a smooth stroke that time from Luce.
Yeah, she's looked good so far. Very comfortable.
The Bears go back to work through Leonidas. McKenna Dale now over for Mullen. Gaziano matched up with Louis right now. As they dump it inside for Green. The inside position that time on Lenart.
Yeah, good job by Green to post up, get the ball where only she could really collect it.
Dartmouth trying to counter. Douglas, oh, nice shake and bake move to get around Mullen, but then lost the handle. Luce able to help her out, and then the touch foul on Mullen as she was on the ground.
Yeah, I think Mullen, it was inadvertent contact, but it was contact, and you'll see it. Look here, Douglas a little out of control. Dale got a hand on it, and right there, that little bump into the leg is going to get you that call.
And just a second foul on the Bears here as Danny Short checks in, as does Ashley Ducharme. Getting a rest is McKenna Dale, and also Haley Green heads over to the bench. Here's McKenna. Leaves it out for Douglas. Three-pointer on the way, and that one is nothing but net for the sophomore out of Mendham, New Jersey.
Dartmouth shooting the ball very well. Early goings here.
Last night they shot just 25% against Yale. And here they're absolutely on fire. Douglas beating everyone down the floor, and then the hard foul from Ashley Ducharme will put her at the line shooting 2. But before that, we'll have a break in the action here in Providence. Dartmouth has the Bears double the team. They've opened up a 7-point lead and a chance for some more coming at the free throw line.
Yeah, Ducharme picked up the foul there, as you saw. That puts Douglas at the line, 65% free throw shooter. And she's already up to 7 points to lead everybody so far. Coach Koklanis has to be pretty happy with what she's seen so far, Mike.
Absolutely, and Douglas, who only averages 7.3 per game, already with 8 in the first 5 minutes. And here comes Mullen and the Bears trying to get on track on the offensive end, just 33% so far. Tenacious defense here out of the Big Green, but the Bears able to get inside. Danny Short off the window.
Yeah, good decision there by Leonidas. First of all, Mullen had backed herself into a whole lot of trouble in the corner. Bears were able to find the open player. When there's 4 players over on the corner, that means someone's open.
Let's see how the Big Green respond. Douglas goes back to work. Now the kick out. 3-ball on the way. Jimena Abahon couldn't quite connect on that one. And now the Bears a chance to further whittle down this Dartmouth lead. Ducharme from the outside. Don't see her take that shot too often, as it does not drop in for the sophomore. Abahon able to draw some contact, and fouls starting to pile up here so far this evening.
Yeah, Coach Payne didn't like the call. I'm not sure if she was disappointed with the call or the contact. Watch Ducharme flash out here, and then a little bump when she turns to box out. There's contact there, and Abahon's going to the free throw line.
And just like that, Ducharme has 2 fouls already, so she'll head over to the bench. Fiona Finn checks in now for Brown.
Yeah, Dale had come in for Mullen just a second prior.
First one good from Abahon. 54% free throw shooter on the season. We're seeing mostly spot action, just about 12 minutes a game. So
Now, Dartmouth took just 2 free throws last night completely against Yale.
And already 6 for 6 here tonight, as the Bears going to work on the inside. Short got down deep, but Lenart too much that time on the inside. McKenna quickly works it back. Here's Lenart for 3. Count it! The senior dropping it down from the outside. The bench ecstatic for the Big Green.
Well, they just keep knocking them down, Mike. It has been a pretty good start to things for Dartmouth.
Yeah,
they're shooting 60% from the floor.
That's only the 6th three-pointer she's attempted, Mike. The first one she's made in Ivy play. Leonidas losing the handle momentarily, but able to get it to Gaziano. Finn now trying to penetrate. Had it swiped away. The quick hands of McKenna. Lenart on the run, up and in, and the Bears are going to call timeout here with 3:50. Even last night, they only had 42 total for the game in that loss down in New Haven. So Again, this is not a high-scoring Dartmouth team. Dead last in the Ivy League at 53.8 per contest. That number even a little bit lower when it comes to Ivy games at 52.8. So the fact that they have 23 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter has to be one of their best offensive outputs of the season.
It's their right now, I'm looking through it. They had 22 against Cornell, Mike. That's it. This is their best.
The Bears finally able to get a bucket back as Fiona Finn banks that one in. We're now under 3 minutes to play here in quarter number one.
They had 25 in their 1-point win over Harvard. So they just beat that.
Well, Abahone from downtown. And again, a fairly rare three-pointer for her, just her 6th three of the season. Everything working right now for the Big Green as they look to spoil Brown's senior day. Here's McKenna Dale. And throws it into the Dartmouth bench, Mike, and that'll be the 4th turnover of the game on the Bears.
Yeah, I had Short in the high post, but Short, after she gave the ball to Dale, kind of stood in that, just in the arc above the free throw line, didn't pivot out to the wing, and there was nobody there. So, turnover.
McKenna now will work it down the left side of the lane. Was able to get it over to Abahone. Big Green, though, turn it over. Just their first turnover of the night. Leonidas surrounded by white jerseys, but still able to find Gaziano, who draws some contact as she took it on the inside. I think they're going to get, and then Abahone with the foul. We'll take another look.
Yeah, it was a great pass to lead Gaziano in. And that'll put Gaziano about a 70-odd% free throw shooter at the line. 72%, give or take.
Has struggled a little bit in Ivy play, that number dipping down to around 66%.
Mm-hmm.
Left that one a little bit short. Gaziano so far with 2 points. He had the opening bucket of the game. That was the only Brown lead tonight in the first 10 or 15 seconds. Second one off the mark as well. Again, she had a tremendous evening last night. 21 points as she broke that 1,800-point barrier. Alexi Love able to come up with that loose ball. Swings it over for Gaziano, and now McKenna Dale has basically been a two-headed monster as of late. And Dale leaving that one on the side of the rim. In fact, last weekend down at Penn, Gaziano and Dale combining for 48 of the 60 points that the Bears were able to muster in that one. Abahone pulls up for the left-handed jumper and swishes it through.
Yeah, you mentioned two-headed monster, but at this point, Mike, the Bears have 5 field goals by 5 different players. Nobody with more than the three-pointer that Mullen. She leads all Brown scorers, and that's with 1 basket.
Yeah, the points certainly hard to come by for the Bears here in this opening quarter. As they look to Haley Green now, who kicks it back outside for Dale. Love now trying to penetrate. Got stuck in some traffic there, but bailed out by the official as they're going to get the foul on Annie McKenna for her first of the game.
Yeah, it's a good use of the word bailout because the Bears were down to just 7 or 6 seconds on the shot clock. I'm sorry.
And she was in the lane, surrounded by white jerseys.
Yeah, she wasn't really nowhere
for her to go.
No, it was not a good-looking possession at that point.
So fresh 20 for the Bears now with just under a minute to play. Here's Mullen for 3. Got it. A much-needed three-pointer for the Bears. Mullen now 2 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah. Bears need to stop here, take some momentum into the second quarter.
McKenna from the outside buries it.
The exact opposite, actually, of what the Brown Bears needed. Dartmouth continuing to shoot the lights out. 71% from the floor in the first 10 minutes.
And from beyond the arc. It's been an incredible shooting display here by the Big Green.
It's incredible.
McKenna Dale puts it up from the outside. Went down hard. Haley Green comes up with the rebound. And the foul on the Big Green. And this one's going to get charged to Keely Brown.
Yeah, Dale tried to buy the foul. And, yeah, a little too much embellishment there.
Just a slight delay there after she released. So 15.1 seconds left for the Bears. And that one knocked out of bounds again by Keely Brown, the redshirt senior out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Dartmouth coach trying to buy the call.
Last night, the Bears in a similar situation at tail end of the first quarter. They took a shot way too early in the possession, and it led to a buzzer beater for Harvard. And you take away those 2 points, all of a sudden it's a different story down the stretch. Here's Lexi Love. Left it short, and that is how the quarter will end. Dartmouth rolling along, 31 all over the Bears here, 31-14 in the season finale. Shooting absolutely lights out here, Mike, as you mentioned just before the end of the quarter, 71% from the field. That number will dip a little bit after that miss from Katie Douglas. The Bears need to find a way to get their offense on track. They were just 6 of 17 from the field in the first quarter. Here's McKenna Dale from the outside, and that will certainly help. Just a second Brown Bear to hit from downtown, as before it was only Maddie Mullen.
Yeah, her first points of the game, she was 0 for 4 in the first quarter, was Dale. Again, Mullen led all Bears with 6 points. Everybody else, 4 different Bears with 2 apiece as a jump ball.
Bears turning up the defense as well. Dominique Leonidas getting her hands all over that one. And a possession arrow favoring the Bears. Watch the quick hands of Leonidas. A little bit of a push up there by McKenna. And Leonidas saying, "It's my ball." See if the Bears can turn that into some points on the other end. Lenart coming out the challenge with McKenna on the double team out high. Somebody's got to be open here for the Bears. Gaziano in the corner. Count it.
Should be a 3-2. I mean, it was close, but it was a good look on the Bears going inside, then back out. And just like that, the Bears have cut the lead to 11.
Back-to-back threes. And the Bears looking much more alive here. A little bit of an arm bar this time on Leonidas as she battled with Annie McKenna.
He has to be a little bit more careful there, Leonidas. You know, especially after the last one was a little edgy.
Yeah, you can tell she's fiery out there today. Want to help her senior classmates go out with the W today. Lenart now. When Douglas curling around, that's
traveled, yeah.
Absolutely.
Say she caught the ball, took 2 steps, then put the ball on the floor. Watch her rotation coming here. Takes the ball and kind of that handoff. 1, 2, 3, and then whoops.
Almost a 2.5 there.
Yep. Now, if she just threw it up, maybe she had a chance, but it was the right call.
So that's the 3rd turnover of the game for Dartmouth. As the Bears on a quick 6-0 run to open up this quarter, but the zig instead of a zag from Gaziano, and that tripped up McKenna Dale with the pass.
Yeah, you go back to that game a month ago, Mike. Brown was I think +2 on assists over turnovers. Dartmouth that first quarter was +6. You control the basketball, you shoot the ball. That's why you have a 14, 17-point lead.
McKenna, the floater high off the glass, won't go. And that's going to be a foul on the rebound attempt. Paula Lenart. An incredulous look on her face, but certainly looked like she might have had a little bit of a push in the back that time. We'll take another look.
Yeah, the senior from Romania, you watch her locking up underneath with Mullen. And, you know, they're both kind of jostling for that same position, but it looked like Lenart had used her right arm to get some leverage there.
So that's the 2nd foul on Lenart. And she quickly was put on the bench. Gaziano trying to strike for another 3. Can't get it. Dale, though, the rebound. Leonidas now over for Dale once again with 8 minutes to go here in the second. Dale, the high bounce, nearly lost it. Scoop shot, a little bit short, and the rebound into the hands of Asha Taylor. All wide open look here for Douglas. Decides to go baseline. The handoff for Luce is interrupted by Green, who was getting back. Then McKenna steals it right back for Dartmouth. Won't go. Leonidas comes away with it. Now the Bears in transition again. Leonidas. Dale got McKenna to move. 3-pointer. Count it. 3 threes. And the Bears now trail by just 8.
Yeah, 9-0 run for Brown to start the quarter. And now it's Dartmouth that needs to stop the bleeding.
Dartmouth yet to score here in the quarter. Loose, the miss. And it's almost like the law of averages are catching up now with Dartmouth. Out to that 71% in the first quarter. It'd be hard for them to keep up that type of torrid pace.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Mike. And the other part of this that the Brown Bears have just done an exceptional job on is they're boxing out on both ends of the court. And they've had a couple of second chances, but more importantly, Dartmouth has not, despite not hitting a shot yet in the quarter. And now the shot clock's under 10.
Leonidas had it poked away that time by Taylor. Very timely steal there for Dartmouth. McKenna. Able to spin it back for Luce. Now McKenna once again matched up with Leonidas, flashing through as Luce trying to work against Green. McKenna slipping through. Kicks it out for Louie. And Louie able to get down that baseline.
Yeah, she had a lot of daylight between her and the hoop, didn't she? I mean, by the time the Bears got to her, it was almost too easy a layup. First basket of the second quarter, though, for Dartmouth.
Gaziano hit in the middle of the air. She tried to collect that pass. I think that's going to go against McKenna, and that will be her second personal. So now some decisions need to be made by Belko Clanis.
Yeah, she's making that decision. I think Keely Brown, the senior from Las Vegas, will check in.
Danny Short back in for Brown as well. As we take a look at Annie McKenna, one of the senior leaders for this Dartmouth team.
She's displeased, Mike.
Short going to get called for the travel that time. You saw the ball kind of get hung up on her side as the feet kept moving. That's the 8th turnover of the game on the Bears. Dartmouth with just 4. Loose. Can't get that one to drop in, but flashing right through for the rebound was Taylor. She throws it away. Abahone able to keep it alive. Brown now trying to work against Gaziano. And from the outside, that one is good for Asha Taylor.
It was a confident shot, too.
Time was winding down on that shot clock as well.
Yeah, good for the triple.
Speaking of triples, McKenna Dale feeling it. Her 3rd of the game. She's got 9 for the Bears.
Half the shots we've seen go up today have been three-pointers, so at some point, you got to figure something's going to go in.
Luce looking over her options. Will put it on the floor against Short. I think gets absolutely hammered and will have to earn her points at the line. First of the night on Danny Short. And Luce back at the line where she is 2 of 2 on the night.
That was a nice first step really there by Luce to get to the paint. Really no other play there for Short other than to foul would have been to just give up the layup.
Dartmouth still perfect on the night at the free throw line. 8 of 8 now after that conversion by Luce. Fiona Finn back in now for the Bears, as is Sydney Rosant. As we know, or anyone that's watched Brown women's basketball this year, always has the green light. Has a very quick release.
I'd imagine this is a quick breath for McKenna Dale, who has 9 points here in the first half of this quarter.
Past the midway point now of the second. Rosant challenged by a double team out high. In some trouble, but was able to get it to Gaziano. Leonidas calling for a screen. He's going to have to hurry. Down to 4 on the shot clock. These double teams out high have been a problem. Leonidas' shot won't go, and it's Douglas who gets the rebound. Bears were looking for a foul on the shot when Leonidas went up. That one short from Brown. But Keely Brown able to steal it right back. And a quick shot. And the Bears get crossed up on the rebound and winds up being another turnover. Seem to have shifted momentum back onto their side.
Yeah, they haven't shot the ball quite as well here in the second quarter, to say the least. And they've been outscored by the Bears, but they've held serve since that initial flurry from the Brown Bears.
Bears were able to get back in this one on the perimeter. We'll see if they can heat up once again. They're 4 of 5 in this quarter as Douglas another travel. And that'll be the 5th turnover of the game for Dartmouth.
Well, let's reset the Brown 5, Mike. It's Leonidas, Finn, Ducharme, Dale, and Gaziano coming out of that timeout.
And Leonidas will go to work. Around it goes for Ducharme, playing with the 2 personals. Gaziano right down Thayer, but rejected by Louie.
You know, the pass from the wing there by Ducharme was a beautiful setup. Completely well executed, but again, Louie just got her hand up. The problem for Gaziano was she was going right into the middle of what looked like a 2-3 zone.
A double whammy as it wound up hitting her as she landed out of bounds as well. Wild shot that time from Keely Brown, won't drop.
Ooh.
And it will stay with Dartmouth.
I thought it went off the hands of Anna Luce, the Mercer Island, Washington native, but
not too much dissent, though, from any of the Brown players. And Fiona Finn able to disrupt that inbounds pass from Louie. And here come the Bears in transition. Floated on over for Dale. Got the defender to fly by, but left it on the side of the rim, did McKenna Dale. Ducharme fighting for the rebound. Somehow got it to deflect off of Luce. So it will stay with the Bears.
And Dartmouth has not been as smart with the basketball here in the second quarter. And that's just good hustle there by Ducharme. Great camera work by our crew to stay in there with that play in close quarters.
Absolutely, as Leonidas finally able to get it out of her hands. Gaziano, quick trigger on the three, and why not when you can hit shots like that? She's got 8 for the game.
Boy, the Bears are going to miss that. You know, you don't just replace 1,800 points very easily.
No, you certainly don't, and she has done it from day one. Consistently in the top 5 in the Ivy League in scoring.
Steady as she goes.
Here's Douglas from the outside. The air ball somehow saved by Abahoan. And then stolen right back by McKenna Dale as Keely Brown got a little bit out of control.
I started to say before, Dartmouth, 1 turnover in the first quarter. That's their 6th of the second. They've got to value the basketball a little bit more. They seem like a different team, maybe trying to press for shots because they've missed them. Just 2 for 10 here in the quarter shooting. Just look completely unglued.
Dale trying to set up on the outside. That one altered by Louie. As we approach about 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Coach Koklanis is going to take a timeout here to talk things over. We'll keep it here.
I think she's seeing some of what we're seeing.
But can they come up with the stops they need as well? They're going to need one here to keep this one in single digits.
Yeah, Dartmouth's been held off the scoreboard for the last 3 minutes.
Douglas with Luce posting up. Now back to McKenna, who does have the 2 personals. Around it goes for Louie. Back up top for Luce. 7 on the shot clock. Douglas fires up the 3 and a little too strong, but poked all the way back by McKenna. And then a miscommunication there, but might have taken a deflection off of the Bears, off a leg.
McKenna's been held to triples, 3 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Let's say 3 steals too. I think it did.
So Maddie Mullen, speaking of threes, 33 comes back in. His 3's magical right now, Mike.
And she had 2 threes in the first quarter. We haven't really called her name at all here in the second. She was the only Bear in more than 1 basket in the first quarter.
There goes Annie McKenna. Gonna need some help. And able to provide it there was Allie Harland, freshman out of Melbourne, Australia. Here's Luce from the outside, won't go. Leonidas, she'll push the tempo. Oh, what a pass for Gaziano.
It was a great idea.
Just a little bit too low.
It was the right idea. She had Gaziano into the forecourt, but you'll see the ball. She gets across half court. Gaziano's calling for it, and then it doesn't get the bounce. You know, I had a little bit too much, a little too much pace, not enough English, and didn't bounce up.
Here's Louie from downtown. A rebound into the hands of McKenna Dale.
It's like one of those receivers in football.
Green getting hammered by Louie. She'll have to earn it at the line.
You know, you see the separation behind the defensive back, and then you just under her overthrow it.
Again, it was a perfect idea, just the execution a little bit off. We're going to blame a dead spot on the floor. As Green goes to work from the free throw line. First one is good for the senior.
Yeah, 61% in all games is Green. Just 2 for 5 from the line in Ivy contests. Make it 3 of 6, and it's now 3 of 7.
Louie the rebound with under a minute to go here in the second quarter. McKenna leaves it off for Harland. And she hits from downtown, Mike. Big bucket for the Big Green.
Yeah, it was a big bucket because the Bears were within 8, and if they had a stop and a score, they could have made this a 2-possession basketball game. Just like that, it's back up to 11.
About a 7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock here as the half winds down. Again, here comes that double team out high. Mullen, the deep three, and that was not going to get there. And then a tough foul as Mullen came crashing into Harland. Fortunately for everybody involved, Harland seems okay. I think she was more surprised than anything, and Mullen knows that
that floor doesn't have much give, right? Oh. Yeah, I think it was just the way there was contact, not necessarily the intent.
Well, I don't think Harlan's expecting any kind of contact like that at that point on the floor. Final 7 seconds here for Dartmouth. Can they go into the locker room with even more momentum? McKenna, the floater, no. And that will do it. 20 minutes in the books. Dartmouth with an 11-point lead here.
Smart basketball, because sometimes when you're trying to go and you're trying to come back, you sometimes get the your hands and your feet work faster than your mind. And you're absolutely right, Mike.
So right off the bat,
that's an offensive foul.
And you know what? That's on Amy McKenna. That's her third.
Yeah, and she gets up wondering how it's on her. But the Brown Bears were just settling back defensively, and that is McKenna's third foul. We'll see if the Big Green go to the bench. And, you know, what?
And I just saw,
Coach said to her, that's three.
Be careful. And, of course, for McKenna, a senior, this is her final game in her Big Green career, and the Bears give it right back on the travel as McKenna Dale just kind of sliding that pivot foot.
And that's what I'm talking about, Mike. It's your body works faster than your mind. That's when mistakes tend to happen. That's when you tend to give the ball away.
And both teams, not the starts they were looking for right out of the gate. Katie Douglas able to slip in underneath the basket, and Maddie Mullen will pick up her second personal of the night. Excuse me, that's her third.
That's her third, yeah. That's why she spent a little bit of time on the bench in the second quarter. And
Douglas converts on the first. She's up to 9 points now to tie for the scoring lead with Lenart. And will stay tied after that miss. Bears now quickly down the floor. Mullen peels it back for Gaziano, skips it for Dale. Thought about three, now leaves it off for Green. Bounced off Louie. And the Bears now will work it around the perimeter. Dale leaves it back for Gaziano, puts it up for three, won't go. And the rebound into the arms of Luce. Oh, the rainbow pass. Lenart on the other end. Senior to senior connection for the Big Green.
Lenart hasn't missed a shot. She has now 11 points to lead everybody. First player on either side to get the double digits.
And a senior out of Romania, ending her career with a flourish here tonight. As the Big Green come up with another steal. It's their sixth pilfer of the game. Lenart leaves it off for Louie. Now Luce trying to get inside the paint. Ball squirts free to Lenart. Now coming over is Douglas. Inside they go for Louie. Rejected by Gaziano. Able to deny El Louie on the inside. McKenna Dale pulls up for three. Too strong, and Lenart the rebound. Just the third rebound of the night for Lenart, as McKenna has her shot knocked out of bounds by Leonidas. We'll stay with Dartmouth. Checking in now for the Bears will be Danny Short. Here's another look at the rejection from Leonidas. Those two have been battling all night long. Some Green checks out as Short had come in for the Bears. Douglas, little reverse layup, won't go.
That was a great move to get there.
It was kind of crazy. She lost the handle on it, somehow got it back and got the shot off. Impressive coordination in an unsettled situation, but just couldn't get it to drop in. Leonidas now got in deep, but couldn't finish.
But you saw the impact of three fouls there because McKenna had to really back off.
Luce for three, drains it. Big lift for the Big Green. And now they've matched their largest lead of the night again at 17 points. Mullen and the Bears. Again, that double team on a nice slide defensively. McKenna Dale from the outside, can't get it that time. Now McKenna will lead the charge. Kick out, Lenart thought about three, now Luce. will take it inside off the glass and in, and Coach Bain's got to call timeout. The Bears letting this one get out of hand. They trail by 19, will step aside as well.
They scored the first 8 points of the second half. The 11-0 run goes back to the first half. Lenart's 5 for 5 from the floor. Brown's been held scoreless for almost 4 minutes. They're 1 for their last 10. This is where you got to stop the bleeding if you're the Bears.
Gaziano slashing through the lane.
Well, there's double digits for the 89th time in her career, and they're going to need a whole lot of fireworks from her.
Kickball that time from Fiona Finn, and as you alluded to during the half, not only from Gaziano, but they're going to need it from some additional players as well. It can't just continue to be Gaziano and McKenna Dale.
Yeah, Dale's not shooting the ball particularly well. 3 of 12, and all of those threes in the all 3 of them in the second quarter. In fact, the first 4 minutes of the second quarter.
Here's McKenna trying to penetrate. Ran into Lexi Love. Play continues. Mullen. And here's what the Bears have to realize. Still plenty of time left in this one for them to get back. Can't get it all back at once. Finn now. Lays it up and in.
Yeah, it was a curious shot selection really by Mullen initially. And Finn going to that kind of reverse-handed layup to salvage the possession.
McKenna now will hand off to Douglas, and around it comes for Abahon. McKenna once again working on Love. Oh, nice behind the back dribble. So slippery.
Yeah, we talked about that at the top of the broadcast, what she's capable of doing, and that's those ball handling skills that we didn't get a lot of look at in the first half.
So both seniors for Dartmouth that have been integral to their team over the last couple of years, having big nights so far. Here's Maddie Mullen now trying to get inside. Pass off the mark, but kept alive by Ducharme, but only to be stolen away by Luce. Abahon will slow things down. Lenart now joins the fun as well as McKenna
travels.
Got caught there. I think she initially thought she was going to go in for the layup and then tried to bail herself out with the pass, but never released the ball.
Yeah, kind of got that moment of, do I have the layup? Do I not? I'll pass it. Whoops, travel. It happens.
Much easier to swallow those kind of plays when you're up by 17. Ducharme working against Lenart. Has it poked away, and both players going down hard, and they're going to say last touch by Ducharme. And Mike Rubin will have an assist to get the ball back in play. No souvenirs here tonight.
It's my first touch of a basketball in a while, I got to be honest. Still felt kind of natural.
Luce thought about the three, now swings it for Douglas. Past the midway point of the third.
Great
Douglas
take.
goes to work and pass just a little bit too low. Thought she had a pretty good lane there for the layup, but maybe a little too unselfish. That'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. We'll step aside as well with Dartmouth leading this one by 17. This is the Ivy League on ESPN. And welcome back to the Pizzatola Center. We are midway through the third quarter, and the Bears still staring at a 17-point deficit. Justine Gaziano, leave it off now for Maddie Mullen, and around it goes for McKenna Dale. They look inside for Finn. Love left alone on the perimeter, now tries to get inside the paint, rejected by Luce as Love went spiraling into the stanchion. Lenart tried to connect with Luce, but Mullen able to come up with the loose ball. Love now quickly the other way, wide open look for Gaziano, and it won't go. Second attempt by Dale, and that one partially blocked.
And needed to have a little quicker release. Dale's struggles in the second half continue.
McKenna from the outside, won't go. And the foul on the rebound attempt. I believe they're going to get Lenart.
Yeah, if they get Lenart, who it should be on, her third as well.
And with that foul, they will bring in Jimena Abahon. Lenart to get a quick rest. There's look inside this time. Finn trying to reverse layup and was able to get some contact. They charge that one to Anna Luce. It's the first one on Luce here tonight. Finn at the line shooting 2, where she is 64% on the season. These will just be the 5th and 6th free throws of the night for the Bears. First one rims out. Just gonna look at the foul.
Yep, just got her on the arm.
Second one good. Makes it a 16-point game.
But again, Dartmouth regaining that stroke. We said that was one of the keys. They turned it over, but they're shooting 50% from the floor here. And you give up that layup when you're up by, 14 points.
Well, especially when you're Annie McKenna with the 3 personals.
Agreed.
3-on-1 break converted by the Bears. From the outside that time was Harland. And Abahon able to keep it alive. And
smart timeout taken there by Dartmouth. They were a little unsettled. And you're right, Mike. It was a tough rebound. Abahon had to run that ball down, out